Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is peripheral nerve block. Specific learning objectives. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of peripheral nerve block. Then discuss the types of upper and lower extremity peripheral nerve blocks, their effects and uses. Discuss the common complications of peripheral nerve blocks. We will discuss under headings introductions, neurophysiology and pharmacology, complications of peripheral nerve block, types of block, upper extremity and lower extremity blocks. Introduction. It is a part of preemptive multimodal analgesic technique, providing safe and effective post-operative pain management with minimal side effects. It is appropriate for both inpatient and outpatient settings. It affords both anesthesia and extended analgesia for a variety of surgical procedures. Apparent nociceptive stimulus from the injured tissue is prevented to reach the central nervous system by pre-injury neural blockade, and that may cause elimination of the pain response or decrease of pain response. Then neurophysiology. Local anesthesia blocks transmission in ascending and descending nerve pathways. The order of blockage is first sensory, then motor, and then sympathetic. And order of regulation is first motor, then sensory, and then sympathetic. This pattern is important when instructing the patients about preemptive pain management and post-operative use of extremity. Pharmacology. Peripheral nerve blocks involve injecting a local anesthetic drugs near or around the nerve plexus that supplies the surgical area. The duration of action of the local anesthesia depends on the concentration of local anesthetic drug, then absorption of the drugs, and volume of the drug. Single injection, usually 10 to 20 ml, is sufficient for ultrasounded guidance block. Then percutaneous insertion of the catheter directly near peripheral nerve supplies the surgical site with continuous infusion. This can be done under ultrasound guidance. We can put catheter near the nerve and we can use for intermittent boluses or continuous infusion. Basically, local anesthetics blocks the acts and the voltage gated sodium channels. At the cellular level, sodium influx occurs. This causes generation of action potential and depolarization and conduction of the impulses. Local anesthetics acts and blocks the influx of sodium so that the repolarization and depolarization inhibited and conduction also inhibited. That's why impulses does not reach central nervous system and patient does not feel pain when peripheral nerve block is given. Advantages of peripheral nerve block. Reduce post-operative pain resulting in greater patient satisfaction with their pain management. Early ambulation and discharge from the hospital. Decrease side effects of opioids like nausea, vomiting, constipation, drowsiness. When it is used for the surgical anesthesia, then under less sedation, minimal sedation, we can do surgery, thus protecting the airway and other intubation related complications and general anesthesia related complications. Contraindication. History of coagulopathies, that is relative contraindication, pre-existing neuropathies, then anatomical aberrancy or pathology at the injection site, infection at the injection site, patient refusal, absolute contraindication, allergy to local anesthetic drugs, absolute contraindication. Complications, disadvantages. Complication of peripheral nerve injury, most common with landmark guided technique and less common with the ultrasound guidance. Pneumothorax, common with the supraclavicular block because the close proximity of the apex of the lung. Then Horner syndrome, common with the interscalene block. Hemidiaphragmatic paralysis, again common with the interscalene block as C3, C4, C5 superficial, and it can be blocked by the interscalene block. Then local anesthesia, systemic toxicity, again common with the landmark guided and PNS guided, as intravascular chances of intravascular injection is more. The risk of blood failure, then bleeding, vascular injury, hematoma, infection at the site of injection, and damage to the surrounding structures. Commonly used local anesthetics for peripheral nerve blocks: lignocaine, bupivacaine, ropivacaine, mepivacaine. Lignocaine onset is fast, but duration is minimal, like 1 to 3 hours. Bupivacaine onset slow, duration around 4 to 6 hours. A dose of lignocaine 5 mg per kg without adrenaline and 7 mg per kg with adrenaline. Dose of bupivacaine 2 mg per kg. Dose of ropivacaine 3 mg per kg. Upper extremity blocks: interscalene, supraclavicular, infraclavicular, and axillary blocks. Brachial plexus anatomy: brachial plexus formed by spinal nerve roots C5, C6, 7, C8, and T1. 5-6 form superior trunk, 7 form middle trunk, C8, T1 inferior trunk. Then trunks divides into anterior division and posterior division. Total 6 divisions. Then it again subgroups into cords, lateral cords, posterior cords, medial cords. And it gives in axilla terminal branches, that is axillary, median, radial, ulnar, and musculocutaneous nerve. Interscalene block usually blocks at the root level and sometimes trunk level. Supraclavicular blocks trunks and divisions at the level of cords. We give infraclavicular blocks that blocks lateral, medial, and posterior cords, and terminal branches of we can block at the axilla. This is the sensory distribution of the upper extremity. We can give peripheral nerve block under ultrasound guidance, then landmark technique, and third is the peripheral nerve stimulation under guidance of PNS. So complication rate higher with the complication rate higher with the PNS and landmark guided technique, and less with the ultrasound guided technique. Then failure rate also more with the landmark guided technique, PNS guided technique, and less with the ultrasound guidance. So we will discuss ultrasound guidance. Ultrasound guidance enhances the visualization of the nerve target, and we can distinguish vascular structure and non-vascular structure. Then any pathology and aberrant anomaly. Then we can use minimal amount of drug, like 10 ml is sufficient for the most of the blocks, so that the local anesthetic toxicity can be avoided. Then under ultrasound guidance, we can visualize the whole length of the needle, so the complications like the nerve injury is less. Then it allows the smaller volume, as already told. This is the interscalene block. This interscalene block used for shoulder and upper arm procedure, proximal humerus. It is not recommended for the contralateral phrenic nerve palsy and pulmonary function impairment. This is the sternal cleidomastoid muscles. Sternal head, this is the clavicular head, this is the EJV, this is the interscalene groove between the anterior scalene and scalene medius. So we have to enter needle here under PNS guided and check for twitches or the deltoid muscle, pectoralis muscle, or biceps or triceps. This is the sono anatomy. This is sternus cleidomastoid, anterior scalene. This is a C5, C6, C7, middle scalene muscles, C7 vertebrae. So needle path should be from here, lateral to medial, like here. And we have to deposit drugs here. 10 to 15 ml is sufficient. It will take 5 to 10 minutes for action. And depend on the drugs, lignocaine or bupivacaine, action lasts for 3 hours to 6 hours. Then again supraclavicular block. The indication for supraclavicular block is surgery of the upper arm, except proximal part, elbow, forearm surgery, wrist surgery, and hand surgery. Pneumothorax is the potential complication due to the proximity of the apex of the lung. Volume of the drug approximately 10 to 20 ml or 15 to 20 ml for PNS guided. This is a ultrasound guided technique, implant technique. Place a probe transversely parallel to the clavicle. This is sono anatomy. This is a subclavian artery. This is a brachial plexus. This is a first rib. This is a pleura. This is a lateral. This is a medial. So needle pulse should be here from this point to here. Deposit drug here. 20 ml is sufficient for supraclavicular block. Next is infraclavicular block. Indication for the infraclavicular block is surgery of the upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand and excluding the shoulder area. It is used as a substitute for the supraclavicular block when there is a difficult anatomy. This is a Sona anatomy of the infraclavicular block. This is the pectoralis major, pectoralis minor. This is the axillary artery. This is the axillary vein. This is the pleura. This is the posterior cord. This is the medial cord. This is the lateral cord. Needle fall from here to here. Deposit 15 to 20 ml of drug. That will be sufficient. Next is axillary block. Axillary block indicated for the forearm surgery, hand surgery and surgery below the elbow. This is the Sona anatomy of axillary block. This is the axillary artery, radial nerve, ulnar nerve, medial nerve. This is the musculocutaneous nerve, biceps muscle. This is the triceps. This is the triceps muscle and this is the coracobrachialis muscle. Lower extremity blocks, femoral block, popliteal sciatic and sciatic block and ankle block. Femoral nerve is the largest branch of lumbar plexus like L2, L3, L4. It is indicated for the anterior thigh surgery, lower leg surgery, and medial side of the leg, ankle, foot surgery along with the sciatic nerve block. It gives the complete analgesia for lower leg. Femoral block we can give PNS guided and ultrasound guidance. PNS guidance landmarks are anterior superior iliac spine, pubic symphysis, and this is ASIS. Pubic symphysis, draw a line from ASIS to pubic symphysis, palpate the femoral artery, 1 to 1.5 centimeter lateral to the femoral artery, mark the point, then 1 centimeter below the inguinal ligament, mark the point, and needle entry point is 1 centimeter below the inguinal ligament and 1 to 1.5 centimeter lateral to the femoral artery. Direction of the needle 40 to 60 degrees towards the cranial. This is a ultrasound image of the femoral lobe. This is the femoral vein. This is the femoral artery. This is the femoral nerve. This is the fascia iliaca. This is the pectineus, iliopsoas muscles. So needle path should be from here lateral to medial, here to here. Deposit around 15 ml of local anesthetic, and action will become after 5 to 10 minutes. Next is popliteal sciatic block and sciatic nerve block. I will discuss sciatic nerve block. For sciatic nerve block, landmarks are greater trochanter and ischial tuberosity. Draw a line from ischial tuberosity to greater trochanter, and midpoint of the line, this line is the point of entry of the needle. Next is ankle block. Ankle block is performed at the tibial nerve, sural nerve, deep and superficial peroneal nerve, and the saphenous nerve. It is indicated for the surgery of the foot. The pertinent landmarks of the posterior tibial artery, dorsal pedialis artery, tendon of the hallucis longus, medial malleolus, and lateral malleolus. This is a sonoanatomy for the tibial nerve block, and this is for saphenous nerve. This is a nerve, posterior tibial nerve. This is the saphenous nerve. This is the hallucis longus muscles, digitorum hallucis. Posterior tibialis tendon. So needle path should be from here to here. Require at least 10 ml of local anesthetic drug to block this nerve. Again, this is the saphenous nerve, and saphenous nerve accompany the saphenous vein. Next is ankle block, landmark guided technique. We can give ankle block as a subcutaneous local infiltration as a ring fashion. So we have to block 5 nerves, sural nerve, superficial and deep peroneal nerve, saphenous nerve, and posterior tibial nerve. So sural nerve is the posterior to lateral malleolus, and superficial peroneal nerve is anterior to lateral malleus. So we have to block sural nerve and superficial peroneal nerve in a ring fashion. Infiltrate local anesthetic drugs subcutaneously in between the Achilles tendon and lateral malleus, and laterally goes towards the midpoint between the medial and lateral malleus. Inject 5 to 10 ml of drug. Then deep peroneal nerve, palpate the dorsal pedialis artery, medial to dorsal pedialis artery, and lateral to hallucis longus tendon. This is a needle entry point around 5 centimeter to the 1 centimeter depth. Infiltrate 3 to 5 ml of drug that will block the deep peroneal nerve. Then posterior tibial nerve, it is present behind the medial malleus and posterior tibial artery. Palpate the posterior tibial artery. Inject drug posterior to the posterior tibial artery. 3 to 5 ml will be sufficient to block the posterior tibial nerve. Then saphenous nerve, palpate it is present anterior to the medial malleus. Give subcutaneous infiltration of local anesthesia drug from medial malleus to the midpoint between the medial and lateral malleus. 3 to 5 ml of drug will be sufficient to block the saphenous nerve. Ankle block is useful for the foot surgeries. Summary: peripheral nerve block widely used for surgical anesthesia as well as post-operative and non-surgical anesthesia. It offers distinct benefit over general and neuroaxial anesthesia in patients with high cardiorespiratory risk. With use of ultrasound, complication can be decreased, and peripheral nerve block can be used for acute and chronic pain management with placement of catheter, and we can use as a continuous infusion and can give intermittent boluses for both acute and chronic pain management. Thank you.